Aquí estamos con las cabinas. Bueno, voy a mandar en vivo. Carminda, creo que alguien tiene aquí.
Yo te lo paso, Rosy.
¿Sí? Pedro Lobato, hay que meterlo. Creo que te mandé invitación, Pau. Ahí voy.
Ya tienes el host para lanzar el vivo. Si me das el host, te ayudo.
Sí. Espérame, ahora. No puedo. No, el host se fue para alguien más.
Tienes a dos.
Se lo diste a Víctor. A Víctor.
Seal Educación.
Entonces mándame al otro Seal Educación. ¿Por qué entré por dos? Mándaselo al otro Seal. Víctor, ¿me puedes hacer host o tú lo mandas en vivo? Porque tú tienes el host.
Te lo paso para...
Pásame al otro Seal con educación. Estamos dobles aquí, perdón. A ver si ya. No, todavía no. Ya, ahora sí. Espérame, Carmina, te hago. Cojos. Bueno, vamos para
el aprendizaje. Esto, hermoso.
Queridos.
Hay que reconocer a Rosy, todo el trabajo que está haciendo.
Si alguien está en el chat y tiene que estar acá porque es de una asamblea, por favor levante la mano y lo metemos o la metemos. Los que estén aquí adentro del CI, que nos digan alguien tiene que entrar, nos lo indican y le damos entrada, ¿vale? Voy a mandar en vivo para iniciar nuestro maravilloso cierre del foro. Gracias a todos los intérpretes, los compañeros, los organizadores, las organizadoras. Esto ha sido algo titánico. Teníamos la oficina mundial instalada en todos lados. A ver, cierre del foro.
Rosy también.
Listo, estamos aquí a unos minutos. Voy a poner aquí en el chat el en vivo para que lo vean los compañeros. Y bueno, pues estamos en vivo. Ahora sí.
Welcome to you all. Welcome wherever you are around the world. We are all here. This is the closing meeting of the World Social Forum. And we have a very busy agenda. We hope to be able to have everybody here. I wanted to show you a video, but I cannot find it. So whenever I find it, I'll do it because we have so many things in our hands. So in today's agenda, we have to welcome you to start with. And I would like to give the floor to Muda. You want to say something? You can open your camera and your microphone, please. No, you can't, simply.
I will talk in French. Good morning, everybody. I would briefly welcome all the people, the youth, visitors, and Carminda, Jan, Rossi, François, all these people who have made this forum possible. This is the worst thing to put in place because everybody has worked apart from the facilitating group who has made a really great job. It was an event, an incredible event. In our region, it is a region full of wars of social problems. As I said this morning, what this happens in Indonesia with people, with young who take, steal, the flambeau, and in our regions in Libya, the Sahara question, all this problem we have discussed everything. I will talk slowly because during the assemblies I will give 2 or 3, 4 points that we have set as decisions, and we believe that this forum will help all the movements participating in this virtual forum to give back a new force, a new renaissance in the social forum, because we have chosen the moment, though the difficulty to start the forum, though all the discussions in our assemblies, because we had to take a decision and we took this decision too late. And thank you again to these people who were there, to Caminda, to her equipe, her François and Pierre Georges. Maybe I forgot something, but names, but this is their experience that will help us to take this year. We can go on, but because I believe that the Agora and all the discussions made today will help us to take a new way to Mexico. This is because we had many problems. The first problem was in the workshop. There were people who came from the extreme right with some slogans, right slogans, anti-Muslim. This was the first difficulty. The second one, and Khaled could not be in the opening because she lost her friend, her brother. And again, when she started to talk, our Zoom went away. Then, as I was saying before the meeting, before starting this meeting, Ayane, who were there, we have to complete our platform. Thank you. I will leave the floor. Went away. Then, as I was saying before the meeting, before starting this meeting,
Oui, je voulais juste saluer Joao.
And I want to greet Joao from Bahia, because I will never forget the meeting the first meeting I had with you. We have to make the forum in Bahia on mobilizations of diversity. Thank you again in the name of the International Council. Before starting this meeting,
Oui, je voulais juste saluer Joao.
And I want to greet
Muchísimas
Joao
gracias,
from
Amuda.
Bahia.
Sí, yo creo que agradecer todos los esfuerzos
Thank
políticos.
you very much.
The first meeting I had with you.
We have to thank all the efforts together. It took us a while, we were delayed, but we managed to connect everybody, real time, live, streaming everybody with their videos. I didn't count in all the assemblies.
Gracias,
Maybe I
Amuda.
missed
Sí, yo creo
something.
que
I don't know. If
agradecer
so,
todos los
let me
esfuerzos
know.
políticos.
Thank you very much. Things don't count. We have to have 15 assemblies together. We have the assembly, the Sagradas Mujeres, Agua y Tradición y Alimentación, Sacred Women, Food, and no violence. Is there someone here from the Assembly of Holy, Non-Violent Food and Women? Then we go the Assembly of the originary and ancestral people. Gabriela was there. I cannot see her. Ricardo.
Soy parte de j'ai passé à cette assemblée, mais je préfère que Ricardo.
Assembly, but I prefer that Ricardo.
Ricardo ou
Ricardo, are you there?
Gabriela.
Pero no veo a Ricardo en la sala.
I cannot find Ricardo in the room. Let's see. We have the assembly, a self-managed assembly towards education in the movements. ECLADE, I don't know whether they're here. I think everybody's gone. Then we have the Assembly of Maghreb's Convergence. I don't know whether it's Amuda.
Con la Asamblea del Magreb y del Mashrek.
And we start with this assembly, Rosie.
Excelente, adelante ya.
Okay. Comme je l'ai dit tout à l'heure dans mon introduction,
As I said before in my introduction,
nous avons organisé
we have organized
dans le forum social
in the social forum Maghreb-Mashrek
avec beaucoup de militants de la région, des
with
mouvements.
many militants from the social movements and many countries
Pour revitaliser le forum
in order to revive this forum in the 2017 to revive it. We have worked a lot in organizing 7 thematics to come to an assembly. With 7 thematics, our 7 thematics, democracy, environment, social justice, social protection, social movements, including health, doctors, and all the movements, social movements in the region of Mashrek and Maghreb, and the systemic game with the American invasion, the rule of Israeli and all things. These have been some important movements: the right to education, feminist movements, and fight against disinegalities, the freedom of expression, the problem of the immigration and feminism. All these has allowed us in this assembly to launch for 2021 the same thematics, which will carry on during 2021 until Mexico. If we can arrive to Mexico with all the hope we have, we will do it, hoping virtually or in presence, but this will be decided, has been decided to do that. It is a year of action and mobilizations, but which it is not similar to Maghreb and Mashrek. We will open to the international side to discuss problems, our webinars, our workshops, our actions. We will invite you. And as to the discussions we had in the regions where there is no democracy and the enlargement, we have decided for next year, our actions will go to revise the forum, to revise how the International Council works, to revise everything, to give a hand to reflect, and not to forget militants who are in prisons in our region. We started with a call this morning on Tunisian issue and on the Sahara issue, and the other who will come will be the migration issue, because there are many migrants in the region and enough is enough. Then I think that this forum has helped us to rediscuss, to rethink and revise this international situation, which is with the pandemic, the crisis, the international crisis, and this repression, which are not us in the repression. In France, with this law about security and Europe and in the United States, but nothing will change because it is the American policy that we have to arm, we have to discuss. This is why this assembly allowed us to think again and to say adelante, and the struggle will continue.
Muchísimas gracias, Amuda, por compartirnos esta.
Thank you very much, Amuda, for sharing with us the struggle in Maghreb. Now, is there here someone from Global Processes, How to Resist Fascism and How to Promote a Radical Democracy? I don't know whether someone from this assembly. Dina Vargas, she was raising her hand from the Feminism's Assembly.
Sí, creo que la cabina de francés está saliendo en... La cabina de español está saliendo en francés. Hay un cambio.
Tina has very good English. Yes, especially when I talk to you. Yeah, are you going to talk about the Global Processes Assembly? I thought that Alejandra was here, or Claudia, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, okay. If they're not here, I will. Sole was here, Claudia as well. Analba as well. Please switch on your mic.
Analba y Ale no las pega.
Adelante, Claudia.
Parte Claudia.
Claudia, you have the floor. Claudia, please, you have the floor. Comrades, these were very intense days. And we're at the end of these intense days with many debates in many different panels. The feminist space was articulated all along the forum, and that was very rich concerning dialogues, and more than an assembly is part of a process of building up, of starting a collective path towards Mexico 2022. Is a path that we want to follow with specific solidarity actions and denouncing actions and all kinds of mobilizations claiming for our rights. And what it was said is that everything has to be entrenched with the feminist pedagogy, the feminist approach, and this pandemic is putting women in the front line. The caring tasks and women in general, and especially the women in the more popular sectors, are the ones that are working the hardest to face this pandemic, because they have to be the ones that are caring after the others. And then we discuss things about food, about the invasion that our bodies are suffering with all the genetically modified foods, the seeds, the GMO seeds. This is an invasion for our bodies. And how do we need to fight the extractivist politics and the productive experiences that are based upon extracting resources, because these are part of the destruction of the planet. And when we are talking about defending life, it's not only the life of women and people, it's life in all its forms. That's why we wanted to present a very specific initiative. In September 2022, 11-year-old girls were killed in Paraguay. The government was the perpetrator, Benitez's government. And then in December, another girl, 14-year-old girl, Rocío Villalba, disappeared as well. And one of the urgent tasks is trying to find alive Ichita, which was the friend of the other girl. She's missing, and then we want justice for the girls that were killed. We want to support as well the campaign 100 Reasons in order to take Erdogan to court, especially trying to support the Kurdish women. The government in Turkey is a femicide government, and we can link into all the femicides in the different continents around the world. And we have to stop as well the crimes perpetrated against the community women that are leader, like Rebecca Castro, Maria Franco, and many other comrades. And we need to denounce all these crimes in all the continents, and this has to be going hand in hand with our denounce of other women that have been killed in other parts of the world. Something else that was important is how to work with teenagers, young people, children, so they can be part, they can be stakeholders in the forum in Mexico. And we want to have as well spaces and networks with indigenous women, Black women from different territories, different parts of the world, in order to make sure that the popular space of the popular movement are part of the social forum in Mexico. And this is going to be our joint path that we want to take. I don't know whether our comrades want to say something else. That's all. Thank you, Claudia. I don't know whether Soledad want to say anything. No? Now we're talking as well about joining other movements which present diversities, so we can join forces in meetings together and have permanent meetings in order to be able to sustain the process, to keep walking towards Mexico, but not only towards Mexico, as putting into practice the intercontinental fight. This is very important. These things have to be kept alive. Thank you very much, Francine. Your mic. Yeah, good morning.
I will talk in French. Global processes. I prepared the report of these assemblies we had on Zoom, but I will just mention the new groups with several movements which work on global level. We don't still know these people who we are exploring the domain of which we can work together. It's clear that democracy will be one of the main subjects on which we will work. But this is all the initiative that I hope will help us to go on democratization and cooperation at international level. Thank you.
Muchísimas gracias, Francine. Le voy a dar la...
Thank you very much, Francine. Tor, I think that he wanted to have the floor in order to introduce the assembly. Tor, where are you? Can you hear me? Your mic?
Do you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes. I would like to share screen. Is that possible? I don't hear.
You should be able, Tord.
You try.
You should be able.
Should I be able? I tried before and it wasn't. Okay, sorry. Now it's possible. Thank you. Yes. The European Assembly on System Change was actually an initiative very much by Alexander Buzgalin from Russia, who unfortunately is not here right now. The idea was very simple. The idea was that we need a more continuous elaboration on the more deeper issues of how can actually system change take place. What was really interesting was that the Russians had a seminar on the first day, and it has been already looked at by 1,000 Russian people. What they see is maybe also what we see in the rest of Europe, a need for educational material that can be used by pupils, students, to address these issues when they are not at all as used anymore to what we thought was so obvious 20 years ago. They see upon these things differently now, and what we saw then was the need of having more material, and the speakers were all intellectuals, but at the same time organizers. Alexander Busgarin has been part of organizing the Russian Social Forum with 400 participants 2019 in St. Petersburg, with several also young organizers. Thomas Wallgren has been active in Finland Social Forum. He was also a professor as well in philosophy as well, social democratic politicians. Alessia has been long active in the peace movement and could speak much about the rural realities. Peter Ward is well known in the attack movement, and Francine Mestrom, as we know, been very active in the World Social Forums. So this was an attempt to both conceptualize more what we need to have, and what we came to as a conclusion is that we need more continuous education cooperation efforts, which has been indicated in the Assembly for Social Peace and Environment Movement. Alexander Busgarin actually we need a think tank. And what we show with this Assembly was that different strands, quite different, was having a good combined discussion. And I would say it reflects very well this World Social Forum, was sort of really representing very much of all the movements here, but in need of more systematic analysis in relation to both the movements and the needs in our education institutions. Thank you.
Muchísimas gracias, Thor. Vamos a escuchar ahora a Miguel Valencia, y luego Nilsa.
Convocamos una asamblea, parte buena medida, por la fuerza que en 2009 en la cumbre del clima de Copenhague tuvo la consigna "Cambiemos system change, not climate change."
We had an assembly because after Copenhagen we decided to have a meeting that was set up, climate change. And this is something very important, system change and climate change. And there were many people, many personalities that took part in this assembly, people that were involved in climate justice. From India, we have Soumya Chuda or François Schneider, who took part in the Copenhagen meeting, and the decroissance movement from France was their perspective. And we had as well the participation of other people like Thomas Wallgren, which is someone that has a very high profile in the philosophy linked to environment and ecology. We as well had a thinker from India who gave us brilliant ideas, Rashni Vajji. So we were told how we could avoid the fact that we may be following utopias. The utopic thinking could be a disaster, could be catastrophe if we are trying to change the system. So the thinking approach was focusing on the specific phases of the system, the specific features that we see everywhere in all the countries, these features that we can see and we can resist, because to our mind, resistance is the essential factor in order to change the system. And the resistance is linked to many essential aspects. mainly because in this conference or in this assembly, we had the participation from different streams, people that are involved in the climate justice, others that are in the international environmental movement, and others that are part of the fight against the limitless growth or economic growth without limits at infinitum. And as well, we had the participation of representatives of the eco-socialist stream, which have their own ideas. So there's a lot of diversity in the different approaches. We have the local feature, we have diversity when we see how to change the system, but we focus on the global aspects. And on the global aspects, we can all agree that we need to take into account first, number one, the urgency after the climate change panel report from 2019. We have only 10 years to stop the fossil fuel consumption in order to stop the spike or prevent the spike of temperatures on the earth. And we all agree that we need to acknowledge that there's an emergency, there's a climate emergency, and all the social organizations have to acknowledge that there's one climate emergency, and we have to demand from the government to acknowledge this urgent matter, and then we have to resist the so-called sustainable development, which is a lie. And we need to resist the agrochemical consumption, the industrialized food. We have to stop, reject the mega processors, the overuse of planes, cars, high-speed trains, and the technological solutions in order to mitigate the collapse and the climate failure. We have as well to stop the ideology of economic development and progress and development. Thank you. Thank you very much. Nilsa, and then Marco will have the floor.
Nilsa, tu micrófono. ¿Nos escuchas, Nilsa?
Can you hear, Nilsa? Can you hear?
Creo que no está por ahí, Nilsa.
I don't know if Nilsa is there. Her mic is off.
Bueno, vamos a escuchar a Marco. Adelante,
Okay, Marco, then we're going to give the floor to Marco.
Mike Davis también.
And then Mike Davis. First Marco, and then Mike Davis.
Marco, adelante.
Yes, thank you. This is Marco Ulvela, chairing now the organizing committee of the Finnish Social Forum, and also been member of the International Council for Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam Network. And I'm reporting from the Assembly of Social, Peace and Environmental Movements. That this year we started thinking about the assembly organizing early, already in April, and thought it would be important to expand a little bit. This has been also a call from the International Council in the meetings since June. So this renaming was done by our team, and there was one preparatory meeting in Europe in April and another one in December, but mainly organized by the Prague Spring 2 network, where the ideas and also the declaration drafting started. And then from Brazil, the Popular Forum for Nature sent very powerful message to the preparatory process, which also put the declaration thinking and discussion in the motion. So what we had was then two events yesterday on the Assembly Day. First one at 10 a.m. to accommodate the Asian participation in particular, and then the other one at 6 p.m. to accommodate the Americas. And both meetings were very lively. We had very broad section of movements attending and discussing the declaration, and also exchanging ideas information what is done. So let me just quickly show the declaration. No, there are too many screens open now, but there's a sign-on process. So now we have maybe 20 organizations, 30, 40 individuals who are on board, and we have sent through emails and social media channels the link, and it's also now here for those who follow the Zoom. So we hope many will be on board. And in the declaration, there's, as usual, the action days, but what we're proposing end of April, there are common days for peace, environment, and social concerns. Then an action week, and then in end of whenever it takes place, the World Economic Forum is planning to meet in Singapore. So then an action day in this tradition of the social forum being in an oppositional position towards the World Economic Forum. And then what we have is a call for sort of continuous convergence on local ground, on global level, for our movements to become more powerful. Thank you.
Muchísimas gracias, Marco. César.
Thank you very much, Marco. César, you have the floor. Mike Davis, or you, both of you, doesn't matter. You have the floor. Thank you very much for this big commitment and the success of this forum. This is a forum that has been very successful, which is preparing very well the presidential forum in Mexico. For us, the International Alliance has been a very strategic partnership. Last year, we had 3 stages of the World Assembly. This is a success. The participation in the 4th session is where we have been able to draft a solidarity agenda for all the inhabitants. So we have a common goal, meaning it's not about resisting, but it's resisting again, focusing on trying to have a different system, the alternative of neoliberalism, focusing on human rights, environment, and the redistribution of resources. This is essential. We are preparing a calendar. There are already many activities worldwide. We have the World Day in October everywhere, in Africa, in Asia, in Europe. There are many things. And in the forum I highlight has been an excellent opportunity to be in contact with other networks. And today was the last one, the Agora. When we were talking about the universal income, something that everybody, meaning that everyone can have its own resources. And in the process going on this year, every 3 months we'll have virtual World Assemblies, and we'll have regional and national coordination in order to be able to prepare an excellent participation in the WSF, hopefully, which will be presential all together, in order to have an impact, not only to be witnesses and that we are the victims. No, we know that they are the baddies, but now we are giving a giant leap in trying to achieve results. We have already achieved some, so we have stopped evictions. We have shown solidarity with people that have no food. And then we try, in some cases, to moving forward towards a change of politics. Even in Europe, we had a historic resolution in the European Parliament saying that housing is a right, and there have to be policies aiming at fulfilling the right, funding the housing policy. So this is kind of a goodwill. We have still raised the tax. Yes, of course, those that have power will try to hold on to it, but we have more and more tools. And I would like to thank you all and all of us together here. Mike, I hope that he can have the opportunity to speak. But thank you, Rosie, and all of you. And thank you to interpreters. This is essential. So thank you very much. And we have to keep moving forward, and we are going to reach victory. Thank you very much. Mike, are you here?
Hi.
Mike, are you here?
Yes. Hi. Can you hear me?
Adelante.
Testing. Thank you. Just, as some of you know, I've been mostly working on the technical side. I think we're developing a good team of interpreters and people who can keep the momentum going throughout the year. I think we've learned quite a bit, even though it's exhausting running Zoom and these meetings. It's been a positive development. Obviously, I hope the next meeting in October will be face-to-face. But I hope there haven't been too many problems on the technical side. I think Pierre is here to talk about Forum Connect. So I'll let him talk about Forum Connect. Just to say a few words about mobilization in Africa.
I'm not, because this is the Assembly talking, so you can talk.
I'm talking on the Assembly then. Okay, so we've run a couple of assemblies aimed at Africa for mobilization. It's been quite a challenge, not only from the technical side, but from the economic side as well. People just cannot afford data here. It's very expensive. If you're only earning $2 a day, you're not going to spend $1 on data. And this is one of the realities that we have to address if we are to mobilize in Africa. I am talking to a couple of companies to see if we can arrange for a solidarity fund or something that would allow people to transfer $5, $10 for data to a comrade in Africa. And hopefully this will develop in the next month or two. So we'll be able to provide real support. Other than that, the participation in this forum from Africa has not been overwhelming. And I think we can put it down to the technical and data aspects. We will continue to mobilize within the World Assemblies of Inhabitants. As Cesare said, we had the fourth one yesterday. And the next African Assembly will be in April, at which we are mobilizing for an anti-eviction action around Afri-cities in November of 2020. There are a number of evictions that are occurring ahead of this event. And we need to start mobilizing in the next months to try and stop these evictions. So we will keep you informed of that and of any developments in the African Assembly. Thank you.
Muchas gracias, Mike Davis. Yo quiero agradecer.
Thank you very much, Mike Davis. I would like to thank having met Mike Davis. He doesn't speak Spanish. I don't speak English, but we managed. We have a strategic partnership because thanks to him, we have the bridge with interpreters, and I got to know the world of interpreters, and we have so many voluntary interpreters for the whole week. And all this month, we have managed to have interpreters. So thank you very much, Mike, for your solidarity. That's the way we build things. And thank you to the interpreters that have been supporting us in showing solidarity in this kind of gigantic task. And the interpreters thank Rosie for her kind words. So I hope to improve my English, so I'll be able to talk to everybody. Tiburcio, it's up to you. Okay, so we're going to lower Tiburcio's hand. Okay, now we're going to see. We have some from the Human Right for the Education, the Global Assembly for the Right to Education. I think Madeleine is here, I think, or someone else who wants to take the floor. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Rosie. Thank you very much for all this huge effort on your behalf and the whole team that has been coordinating this version of the forum in its 20th anniversary. Indeed, we have called the Latin American Campaign for the Right to Education. We have, together with 9 regional networks, we have organized the Self-Managed Assembly for the Human Rights to Education. And yesterday, early in the morning, we closed this assembly. That was Mexican time, of course. And we had participation of around 100 people representing a similar number of organizations, movements, and entities which are all linked to the agenda in pro of the human right education, including the World Campaign to have the right to education. We have reviewed our common global agenda, not only in Latin America and Caribbean, with a lot of participation of those who took part in the assembly. And we finished with a very brief text which indicates, denotes our worries and our concerns. And I'm going to read. In the current World Social Forum 2021, we joined the transformation agenda in the global field, in the different spheres of social fights and in the different claim for different rights, acknowledging the catalyzing role of education. The pandemic has shown all the different disequalities impacting million women, girls, people with disabilities, refugees, migrants, indigenous, people working or living in rural areas. And we have seen the digital gap and the response from the governments. And we have seen that we need to have a digital sovereignty through public education systems that have to be strengthened, and we need to resist the threat of fiscal policy, tax policy, the high debt of countries, and cutting investment in the public education system and the trends towards private education. And we have to highlight the need to have education from early years to adult times. And after the pandemic, we have to give an answer to education in order to fight for the future of the peoples that has no patriarchy, that is inclusive, that is egalitarian and is based on dialogue among different communities, valuing their local knowledge and highlighting as well solidarity and being committed with protection of life. This text is a summary of the work carried out inside the Assembly. Of course, there are many specific appeals asking to take part in campaign 1,000 million voices. This is a worldwide campaign that's going to start in January. 1,000 million voices for 1 billion voices for education. It has a few key points that's going to be developed in the whole year. One central point is having enough funding for the public education system, and this education have to be strengthened. The public education has to be defended because it's under threat, even under a bigger threat. And other more specific proposals, like the World Observatory concerning the human right to the education. All these were proposals from the Assembly and a call to keep working together, to keep coordinating, to keep having the intersection, joining the agenda for the human right to education together with the fight for other human rights, which have to be all together and can be catalyzed, can be promoted through the promotion of the right to education. So this is what we wanted to share with you. Thank you very much. I not that many assemblies. Silvina, I don't know why you are here. He's going to talk about the social, popular, and trade union movements to celebrate the centenary of Freire. I'm here.
Grande mobilização, seja desse aula.
We are in Brazil in a large rally, and we are at the leadership of the organization called Brasil Popular and People Without Fear. Here in my town of Porto Alegre, in the state of Rio Grande do Sul, we are developing a dialogue with several institutions like Café com Paulo Freire, several unions, teachers' unions, and together we are putting together this important celebration of Paulo Freire legacy in commemoration of 100 years. Also, together with two other entities, they were able to have their mobilization. We accounted for more than 400 people from all over the country, and representing several different movements, church, different kinds of religions. And we got together and agreed that up to March 8th, the International Women's Day, they'll have several rallies to present their support. It started today in several parts of the country. And we are also asking for special expressions of assistance and a strong movement for the impeachment of Bolsonaro, president. The words that keep repeating all the time is unity and solidarity with all types of democracy strengths against Hungary, and also the committees, the popular committees for health. We're here defending the ideas of out with Bolsonaro and leave Paulo Freire.
Thank you very much. I have the Social Assembly, Peace, and the Environment movement. Do we have someone here, or is what Miguel mentioned to us? Marco? Marco, talk about it. Okay, great. Okay. So I think that all the assemblies have already spoken. If someone hasn't, let me know. I don't know if someone from the theme spaces want to add something. Sheila, do you want to say something? Todos estos problemas. And I didn't want. We don't have time. We have no time, Rosie.
We don't have sufficient time.
No, it was a mistake. It was a mistake. I raised my hand by
I
mistake.
raised my hand by mistake.
Okay. 2 minutes. 2 minutes from the thematic space. Economic justice. I think they wanted to say something on social justice. Felix or Seno, are you here? Yeah, first Seno and then myself. Okay. Seno? I can't see you. Here you are. Yeah, thank you very much. Yes, I would like to share with you what we did, because we think that our common work is a very good work. We started in in December. We had weekly meetings, and then we realized that with all this time, we had reached many agreements. and we draft joint documents on our different positions and as well on the actions that we want to develop all together. This was very useful in order to set up a panel, very important panel, which we held with people from Brazil talking about debt and people from the United States talking about anti-racist cooperation and economic cooperation, people from India talking about the peasants' strikes that are happening now. So I would like now to give the floor to Felix. We don't have much time left, so he can be more precise, explaining to us how are we coordinated with other spaces and which are our joint positions. Thank you very much. Yeah. It was a very important task. The Social Forum of Transforming Economies has been very successful because we had a lot of continuity. We had a session on the 29th to see how could we coordinate with the other themes, the other axes, and there are two main points. First, we have to stress that we should be able to express one day a year each one of the axes, the relevant axes, in order to make sure that all those that are part of the social world forum that share the same concerns and the same issues, we could be able to express ourselves concerning one axis. So on the 1st of May, we have already trade unions celebrating the Labor Day. So that should be enlarged, and it should be the day of a dignified labor and economic justice. And there we are fighting against the unfair debt. We are promoting more economic solidarity. So we follow the same logic. And then, Felix, can you please go to the point? Yeah, something else. We should be able to build a toolkit to emancipate, which will be the result of the different experiences that we have been gathering and can be shared. That's very briefly is what we agreed. And then we have some documents that we can share with you afterwards. Thank you. Armando, 2 minutes, and then Tor. Amanda, are you going to say something? Yes. Yeah. From social justice, I think that we started deepening the complexity of building social justice, while at the same time we claim this justice as important element of a debate that is very wide ranging. And the Assembly that spoke about social environment, social issues and peace showed that. And the same thing with those that were doing economic justice. The social justice has more and more evidence due to the impact of the pandemic on a reality that beforehand was very unequal. The social justice means challenging the inequality and breaking the indifference towards the inequality. This is our first ideological task. We have to change these kind of categories like poverty and make the process that create poverty, make them crime. And we have to focus on the right to development as a project to become independent. And that's a challenge that we have set ourselves. And then a message. We should have universal systems of welfare protection with the economic resources we have in the world. This is possible, but they are devoted to other things. And something that came up in the last 2 days of debate is there's a political demand to the BRICS, because in the BRICS, we have 60% of the production capacity of the vaccines and all the decisions that it means. So it's very important to put pressure to the BRICS countries. And we're already doing it with our contact, but put pressure in order to have this pressure. So this is what we are doing. The economic, the social economic after pandemic is a way to have a proper democracy and social justice, which is essential in our daily struggle. Thank you very much, Tor, and then Francine.
Tu micrófono está cerrado, Tor. Your microphone is mute.
Your mic, Tor, you have to switch on your microphone. Your microphone.
Tor, your mic is mute.
Okay, I'm sorry. This, I hope you can see now. There's all the faces of the New World Social Forum. These are all the speakers and co-chairs at the environmental space. And as you can see, these are leaders, and you can see that the great majority are young. And no, not the great, are women, and almost half of them are young. And we didn't look for women. It just happened to be like that. Secondly, we were trying to really unite while still believing in the integrity of all movements that is necessary to change the environmental conditions. So we had trade union leaders, we had Habitat International, we had also very local initiatives, both urban and rural. And the point was really to avoid this silos that have developed, where you talk about climate only as a question of emission, when it's actually as important to talk about the level of the rural things. We hope to make a better report afterwards, but I hope you all get inspired by this. So many young people now entering into this level, and it was very inspiring to see that we had so much in common, for instance, with the Forum Popular da Natureza. So in our final self-organized assembly, we decided we endorse the Brazilian idea. We also believe in very local actions. Like
slowly, please. Slowly, please.
Okay. We also hope in much more practical things. Even in the pandemic, it has been possible to mass mobilize in Sweden in 130 out of 290 municipalities planting potatoes, because there is a need in this crisis to start to be self-reliant. And this has been a very opening, which has also opened up to the peace movement with the former archbishop, etc. So we see that it's all so important, not only to be intellectual, and we hope that this can be a renewal and a help for a further cooperation. Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias, Tor. Sigue Francine y después se preparan las compañeras de
feminismo. Much, Tor, and then the colleague from feminism. No?
Rose, vamos seguir a pauta, por favor.
A mí me parece importante, Tiburcio.
I think it's important, Tiburcio. We have...
Sí,
uma proposta de pauta. Não podemos cambiá-la a nossa
vontade. We have a proposal. We have a program. We cannot be changing it. Okay, Sole, we are going to finish with this part. Yeah, we haven't got much time. I think we should go to conclusions. Yeah, we are going to listen to the feminism. But we cannot hear. We cannot hear. Yeah, I can hear you very well. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear very well. Okay. Briefly, can you hear me? From the from feminism, Claudia has mentioned a few things. So women get organized and are going to have a more daily debate concerning feminism and society in our pathway towards Mexico. I think that Claudia said enough, so we are going to keep on with our agenda. We haven't got much time. I don't know whether François is here. I asked. François? Oh, Rita, you have the floor.
Se façam os chamados. Eu quero apenas dizer que nós tivemos espaço temático importante, convergente da educação, comunicação e cultura, que fez em si muitos chamados, especialmente para que se cuide.
We had a group that was paying attention to the process of governance over the internet and also the colonization of the internet. The question how data will be gathered and utilized related to our movements, to our fights. All together, we put together so much important information, decisions, and this should be heard and preserved. And they must be incorporated as a whole document. We've been able to discuss several items up to this morning. We touch bases on education, culture, and we have a very important contribution. However, the final document is not combined. But from now on, we want that our debate over the internet be here inside the forum, not only by the technology groups, but also extended to the social movements that has a very important voice. This is our final document we'll share with everybody else.
Thank you very much, Rita. Can you hear me? We can hear you very well. I would like to ask François to share. He was sharing maps. It's going to be very fast. I hope, François, I hope that you are ready with all the numbers, with all the stats, how many around the world, the numbers. Okay, François, let's see the numbers. Good morning or good afternoon. Some figures. I would like to thank from my heart the interpreters, says very kindly the speaker, of all the team of technology and communications, many people, many names. So I'm not going to mention all the names. I would like to thank you all. Now, some numbers, some figures I can share with you. If I can share the screen, let me see. Let me see here. So I'm going to open some of the screens. As you can see, we were doing a follow-up. We were tracking the inscriptions in the different activities to have an idea where participants came from. There's a big drive of mobilization in Brazil. And then we have people from smaller countries. But we have 140 participants.
Tal vez intentas volver a compartir.
Ahí se ve.
Can you see now? Yes. So you can see the map of registered participants through the joint system. 9,500 participants registered. Many, a large amount from Brazil. 144 countries represented in the participants. From the regional perspective, you can have an idea here. Brazil first one, and then Argentina, and then Mexico. And then here we have Venezuela and Colombia, North America, Mexico again here, important. Less participants from Central America, fewer from Africa. Morocco and Tunisia, we had a higher level of participants, important enough. In Europe, the French had a presence. The frogs, more participants from Southern Europe, less from Eastern and Central Europe and from Asia. Many participants were in India. Brackets concerning Rita's comments. This is a breakdown of the different platforms that people use for the streaming of the different online activities. We see how the private tools are predominant. And then we have Facebook for Zoom, Facebook, StreamYard, YouTube, Google, and Jitsi. And bottom left, 4.5% of users in this tool. So we can see the supremacy of Zoom and the other two. This is an extract of things that were tweeted in Twitter. I'm not going to comment on it, but that would be interesting as information. And something important as well, this is the gender of participants. 40% of the participants were women, 45% were men, 7% no answered, and others, 9%. It's a good balance among the participants. In this chart, we see the type of organizations, many NGOs, cooperatives, new forms of organization, new type of entities, community entities. And again, these are the countries, Brazil in the middle, in order of intensity of participation. Some global figures. The large circle is the amount of searches in Join. 122,000 searches. People were looking for something. They were looking for a subject or type of activity. Here, visits, global visits of Join, the Join site. 32,000 visits. Here we have the number of participants, 9,561 registered participants, representing 144 countries, 1,360 organizations, and 751 activities. And here is something which is the faces of the participants that share their pics, their pictures. Not everybody's here, but we have many faces. We have many images, smiles, in order to give some background. And this is a compilation of all the different activities. It's like a wall of images of all the different activities that were organized. That's nice and can be even used as a gift to the participants. It's a nice image. And then, in order to finish, the breakdown of activities per themes. In blue, education, communication, and culture. And then pandemic is a very important one. Social justice, 14%. Climate, ecology, environment, 7%. Feminism, 10%, which is joined to a more transversal theme. So here we have. And that's all. Thank you.
Muchísimas gracias, François.
Thank you very much, François. Aaron, anything to comment? You have raised your hand. Anything you want to say? Aaron, do you want to add something? Yeah, just to say that in the website, WSF21.net, we had 59,600 people visited the website from the beginning till today, from the first day to today, and the higher number of participants come from 3 places: Brazil, Mexico, France, and some from the United States, Italy, and in this order of level of participation, which is an important data as well, so we can see the global dimension of what we are doing. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. A last point, I don't know what François mentioned, that there's thousands of activities worldwide. We have this data. Do you know how many activities were promoted worldwide? Just to finish with this point, the initiatives that were launched. I don't know, maybe Pierre has the initiatives. Yeah, not as is. 80 to 100, 120. Some have been quantized. Yeah, okay. Brilliant, very good. So many things to look at. I would like to give the floor to Hamuda.
¿Estás por ahí, Hamuda?
No, no quedé palabra. No solamente dice bravo a Irona.
No, I just want to say well done. Well done, Aaron. Well done to the team, the communications team and the web team. It was really a headache, but I think that we managed to do something decent. I would like to give the floor to Ian and Carminda now. They are part of the CI, among the younger members of the CI. In order to move to the following point, Ian, please, can you have the video on? Yeah, I'm here. Good morning. Maybe Carminda wants to start. Okay. I have been told that we have here the presence. Well, everybody knows that the former social work forum was held in Salvador, in Bahia. It was an excellent forum. It was very powerful with the Black women, Black men, indigenous people, and that was a source of inspiration which led to this current social forum, despite all the challenges we made it. And that's why for me, I'm very proud to be able to call the Dean of the Federal University of Bahia. He's going to give us, he's going to say a few things.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me? It's an honor to be here. I would like to mention that we had firsthand a wonderful experience here in the city of Salvador. We can expect that the social movements look at the university not in a such a friendly way. I know that most of the time the universities have the role of duplicating the different elites, but we believe deeply that here in our town of Salvador, it's possible, it's viable to form an alliance. The university will not replace the social movements, but we are together, side by side with them, in a way that the environment of a university can also bring freedom and emancipation. During the pandemic, the university filled up the realm of knowledge, dissemination, and solidarity, a way to face and make a front to totalitarianism. I want to congratulate all of you And I hope that this partnership experience be repeated in Mexico as well. Because when a university becomes part of a project like this, it can be called an instrument for democracy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Really deeply thank you very much. Okay, this virtual forum, and he's going to change to English.
Ce forum mondial virtuel qui a été un vrai défi, qu'on a réussi à construire tous ensemble.
But I think that this forum, it is the first time that we are together in different languages of the world, and we made a really incredible group, and it is really an experience. And this virtual forum, it is only a part of the forum in Mexico. Then it is not that it has been in place for the pandemic, but the 27th of February, we signed, and I want to give the floor to the collective of Bahia, who is the organization of 2018, Colectivo de Bahia.
Rosy, no tengo sonido, quiero intervenir también, Oscar.
Primeiro, gostaria de saudar a todos e a todas. Meu nome é Anicena, faço parte aqui da Unisol Brasil, Central do Cooperativismo.
My name is Unicema. I would want to salute everyone. We represent the Fórum Social, the collective from Bahia in the Fórum Social Mundial, the World Social Forum. This is a very important movement, and I'm deeply moved by all this. We are facing hardship, challenges at economic and social level, and because of this, we are present with our different causes, fighting to move ahead. And we are presenting our thoughts this way. And I want to resume what we talked about. We assumed a commitment with different entities, and starting in the World Social Forum from 2018, but we continue to give a format and update it. I want to highlight that in 2018, our movement was born of our desire to present our voice, but we are also able to get together with other groups such as the feminism, human rights, disabled people, teenagers, vulnerable groups, and together, putting together our efforts since 2013, we were able to present solidarity to each one of the organizations with us. I want to thank the Dean of the University of here, Bahia, in Salvador, that make it possible our voice to be heard in an organized way. And we were able to mobilize our efforts through this format. We recognize that the World Social Forum in Mexico can keep up with the same dialogue so that we can move ahead, providing solidarity to different groups. This global solidarity has to have convergency and in a wide scenario that we can have different topics in a horizontal way, involving all the different topics, Black people, young people, so that they can see themselves reflected in this whole process. We also have to take into consideration that it represents our anti-racism, anti-capitalism, and colonialism. We hope that the forum continue to be strengthened in this position, express its actions with its own interests. That's what we've been able to see in this Global Social Forum this year, that yes, our voice can be heard, we can make a difference through this global mobilization that started at the local level, but reflected internationally. And that the work we've done so far, we can continue to the next event in 2022 in Mexico. We're happy to see the contribution of every
inédito para todos nós, né? Uma outra coisa que a gente gostaria de deixar aqui, para terminar logo o meu tempo, é dizer o seguinte, que a gente possa tentar permanecer, né, na continuidade dos fluxos do fórum. A gente bebeu muito da fonte do Fórum Social Mundial de 2016.
To conclude, I want to say that we took a lot of assistance provided to from now on, and this sense of collaboration with the Global Social Forum in Mexico, that we can together continue to build up this strong organization. It's important to highlight that the Global Social Forum needed to renew always. It started before in 2018, and I'm sure that the same will happen again in this Global Social Forum in Mexico. Hope that we can all together continue with our fight for our cause, that a new world is possible. Anyway, to conclude, we're going to say impeachment to Bolsonaro. Go away, Bolsonaro. Out with Bolsonaro.
Fora Bolsonaro.
Sigue Rita, vamos a escuchar a Rita, por favor, del colectivo Bahiano.
Do coletivo brasileiro, facilitador do fórum, formado pelo coletivo baiano e pelas organizações nacionais, mais ou menos 27 organizações, ao longo do processo, 27 organizações ajudam a facilitação do fórum, mais cerca de
organizations, plus at least 1,000 organizations and assemblies that were part of the whole process. So, in the name of my organization, I want to present our testimony that the forum represented a very important moment that made us think about the entire process. Several moments, it was apparent that was not even sure that we would have this event taking place, but slowly this became a reality. Little by little, this process evolved to allow a dialogue and the convergence of ideas. So it was a great pleasure to see what happens, and all the key participants, like the dean from the university, the administration of the state of Bahia, who supported us. And this forum represented a very important movement, and it was became very emotional, the participation of different people. But at the same time, unfortunately, it also represented the pain from our people, the genocide of our Black youth, like the execution of the murder of Marielle Franco, leave our voices unheard, and also is one more number in the feminicide, and also a new term, which is the policide, which happened in the form of a coup of President Dilma, and the reaffirmation of the fascism. We have to recognize that our forum in 2018 was painful because all the environment and all the situation we're facing. But at that time, women were able to reaffirm their fights. It was very impressive what we were able to achieve at that time. We had 60,000 participants and 24,000 enrolled through the site. So back at that moment, we were able to achieve incredible figures in terms of participation and support. That event generated a lot of visibility for topics such as democracy, international solidarity with people from other parts of the world, like Madre Terra Defiance. And in my opinion, what we've seen is a continuation of the different causes and fights. In conclusion, at that time, we concluded our forum happy, with our hearts replenished with joy. But as any global event, we recognize that we had our clear objective of trying to put together powers that can change the world. It's a huge commitment, a huge task. But in conclusion, we realize that only the continued efforts that happen not only during our discussions, during our meetings, but that it can propitiate the formation of strategies, ideas that will contribute for changing the world. And for this reason, we here in Brazil, we're kind of with the idea that we have to continue presenting our ideas, our voices. We were invited by the International Council during the preparation of this event. There were represented in different forums, such as the Amazonian Forum, the Colombia Forum, Changing Economies Forum. All of these events, they were a continuation of the dialogues that culminated here in this so important event of the World Social Forum 2021. Again, we cannot disregard that this virtual event is also a result of pain and grief. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, our inequalities were brought to the face of the world in a visible way. And on the top of that, all the lives lost in result of this pandemic. So this made this forum much more important in a reaction or reactive way. So that's important to have the different organizations being part of this forum and the different activities and movements. And we hope that all together we can contribute for a less unequal world. I know that I have a huge list of different topics to be covered in this moment. But once again, I want to highlight that this 2021 forum has had an important role of uniting us. And it's made clear that we need to use this tool to keep us connected. But we cannot rely on global corporations to unite us. We needed to make sure that our causes, our voices be shared. And we needed to find a better way to do this and not rely on the global organizations. we know that the different organizations in Brazil, they will continue to support our activities, that we can find a more important way to the convergence of our ideas, voices, to defend the humanity and our planet Earth. From at this point, we want to salute, congratulate, and invite everyone for the next Global Social Forum in Mexico. So to all Mexican colleagues, global organizations, what we want to deliver is that, yes, we recognize and agree that a new world is possible. Thank you.
Oscar, todavía no nos toca. ¿Puedes apagar tu micrófono?
De acuerdo.
Carminda, ya casi nos toca.
Así es, Rosy, muchas gracias por tus palabras, Rita. Bueno, ya tuvimos este pequeño anuncio desde Brasil. Ahora necesitamos tal vez escuchar a las organizaciones desde México, Rosy, ¿cierto?
Sí.
Adelante. Adelante, Rosy.
Bueno, yo quiero invitar a todas las organizaciones mexicanas que están aquí adentro de la sala, y si no están, por favor, levanten la mano para que les podamos dar la palabra. Héctor de la Cueva, quisiera llamarlo. Vamos a tener somos muy pocas para compartir. Héctor, ¿estás en la sala o estás acá en los...?
Sí, aquí estoy. Aquí estoy,
Ok,
Rosy.
Héctor está también, por ahí veía algo de los compañeros Cerezo, Daniela, Pedro, exacto. Bueno, la idea es que hablemos 30 segundos los que estamos de México. Oscar, ahora sí también puedes abrir también tu micrófono y pues vengan, digamos, los mexicanos abran su cámara y su micrófono y vamos dando la palabra. Héctor.
Muchas gracias, Rosy. Pues desde el movimiento de las y los trabajadores en México, en particular de la nueva Central de Trabajadores, enviamos un saludo muy fraternal a todas las compañeras y compañeros activistas de todo el mundo que han participado en este Foro Social Mundial virtual y que significa un gran paso adelante para volver a articular a los movimientos sociales del mundo, y el Foro Social Mundial está mostrando su capacidad y su potencialidad para ser un espacio de articulación de los movimientos sociales. El siguiente paso es volvernos a encontrar, reencontrarnos ahora presencialmente, y lo vamos a hacer en México, en la próxima sesión del Foro Social Mundial. Desde los trabajadores, del movimiento indígena, movimiento campesino, de mujeres, de jóvenes, de los movimientos sociales mexicanos, los esperamos con muchísimo cariño en el 2022, donde nos volveremos a encontrar en el Foro Social Mundial. Desde tierras mexicanas las esperamos, les mandamos un caluroso saludo y vamos adelante porque tenemos que construir un nuevo sujeto global capaz de brindar una alternativa, una salida diferente a esta crisis multidimensional que vivimos y construir nuestra propia salida desde los pueblos a las crisis. Los esperamos y los esperamos en México.
Muchas gracias, Héctor. Daniela, vamos a tratar de ir mujer-hombre. Daniela.
Sí, hola, ¿sí me escuchan?
Sí, adelante.
Bueno, pues desde el Observatorio de Derechos Humanos de los Pueblos, pues igualmente consideramos que el Foro Social Mundial es un espacio muy potente de muchas confluencias a nivel de los diferentes territorios en el mundo, y pues nos hermanamos en estas luchas y decimos, y al igual como ustedes, porque ya las y los hemos escuchado, profundicemos en que nuestras luchas deben de tener un carácter anticolonial, antirracista, antipatriarcal, antiimperialista, y seguir adelante construyendo todas estas colectividades que desde nuestros pueblos originarios nos lleven a seguir potencializando nuestras resistencias y nuestras luchas. Abrazamos a todas y a todos por este importante esfuerzo de todos estos días de trabajo que ha dejado unas perspectivas muy importantes y pues vamos con ustedes, si así no nos permiten, pues estar construyendo para el Foro Social Mundial 2022. Un abrazo fraterno y solidario.
Buenísimo. Oscar, 30 segundos.
Sí, Rosy, no tengo imagen. Tú puedes darme.
Déjame ver por qué no tiene, sí deberías tener.
Igual nos acordamos de su cara, ¿no?
Bueno, muy bien.
Dale, sí.
Ahora sí le puedes abrir.
Ahí está.
Solo quiero reiterar nuestro reconocimiento a todo el equipo.
Would like to thank you. I would thank all the team, all the coordinating team.
Esta reunión que creo que va a marcar un hito.
In order to be able to highlight the fact that it's a new way to meet different organizations, different movements, different people worldwide. There are many things that need to be done, of course, but to my mind, it has been a very memorable event. Now, concerning Mexico, as Hector has said, we are waiting for you all. And as Daniela said, with open arms, in order to be able to keep working on this process, integrating, not breaking, but integrating, and giving voice to the different perspectives, to the different positions. Many of us have been working continuously, trying to update the World Social Forum, both regarding how to tackle the big global problems and trying to go beyond meeting, exchange, and reflections, and move towards the action on behalf and from the social forum. This is one of the goals that we want to agree upon and make it more specific in Mexico. So we are going to keep working as we have been doing in order to be able to do so.
Bien. Bueno, yo puse aquí una lista.
Yeah, I have a list. I think Sarah wants to say something now. Sarah Roman.
Sara, ¿estás por aquí?
No aparece.
Bueno, mientras aparece.
Perdón. Hola. Sí, lo que
Sorry,
pasa...
I'm here. Yeah. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay. I feel they were represented by those that have spoken before me. If building the feminist movement in Mexico is present as well, but it's important to say that with Hector and with other comrades, we have agreed in many things. We have been with Oscar Gonzalez. We have agreed on democracy in Mexico. So we all together will be waiting for you here, and we'll see how we are all joining together. Thank you very much. Francisco Cerezo, I think. Thank you very much for the 30 seconds. Thank you very much. We would like to thank you all for the efforts, and hopefully in Mexico we can see a continuation of this momentum. Social democracy is the most powerful tool, and we think that is okay, but we have to go beyond that. If not, the dark force like Bolsonaro will be back, and we'll have to face state terrorism again. So I think this should be an opportunity to go beyond in our practice, not only as organizations, but as people as a whole. Thank you very much. Alejandra, yeah. Good afternoon to you all, comrades here from the Iguacapa communities, we found the corner in order to be able to connect with all and to let you know that this all gigantic effort is very important because this gives us a big hope. We really hope for a new life, and we have learned that the first thing that we have to understand is that we need to be strong. We need to strengthen ourselves. We need to be creative, and this social forum is one of the creative parts that we need in order to keep walking forward, to keep finding the way that we have to follow. Thank you very much, comrades. Thank you very much. Okay, Felix, Malu, Pedro, and then Lucila. Yeah, I would like to congratulate all the team that have made it possible, and I would like to stress something. I don't want to say welcome to Mexico in the next forum. No, we have to be taking part in a process from now onwards, and Mexico will be the culminating point. But we have to go beyond. The social forum cannot be only an event; it has to be a process. So we have to be coordinating more. We have to be triggering more capacities, mainly that can be of emancipation. Thank you very much. Thank you, Malu.
¿Tienes micrófono, Malu?
Malu, do you have the mic? Malu? Yes? Yes? From Mexico, we want to tell them that we have been so happy with this large encounter. I would like to say congratulations to all the organizers that made it possible that we could be all together, that we could share all our fights. I would like to thank all the feminist women that have kept moving forward and haven't given up the fight. Thank you for the resistance. Thank you for keeping up the fight without surrender, with this hope, which means changing the world. That's what we are doing. So we are looking forward to have you all in Mexico, and welcome with big open arms. And I would like to give you a big hug to you all, and all of you, please come to Mexico. Thank you. Thank you, Malu. Pedro, and then Lucila, and then Mario. Yeah, I would like to join the words of thank you that we have heard before for these days. A lot of work to be able to be all heard. All our voices were heard, and we are trying to find a better world. And I would like to thank mainly, as Felix said, it's not only about the forum. We have to take part in all the activities because we are going to see each other in Mexico. And we have to make sure that our voices find an echo in order to have an anti-patriarchal, anti-capitalist, anti-racist world. Thank you. Lucila? From Puebla? Mexico? I would like to keep having this solidarity link with fraternity, and that we can keep being together till we meet again. And in the next few days, we'll be having activities, eco-friendly exchanges. So with a lot of love. Thank you. Thank you, Mario. I'm delighted to be able to be here. Sorry, the interpreter cannot hear the speaker. I'm so happy to be able to share with you. We are the Mexican Network of Community Commerce and Youth Activities, and we are delighted to have been able to take part. It has been very enriching experience. So we want to see you all in Mexico to share and to keep strengthening our friendship ties. Thank you very much. Freddy?
Nelia, ¿eres mexicana? Ahorita te abrimos el micrófono. ¿Nelia? Bueno, no sé si Nelia es mexicana.
Nelia?
Freddy, adelante.
Freddy? Freddy?
Tienes apagado tu micrófono, Freddy. Bueno, no sé si no puede abrir su micrófono.
Maybe he cannot unmute his mic.
¿Algún mexicano, mexicana que me falte?
Any other Mexican missing? I'm sure there is someone missing. Miguel? Miguel, you can unmute your mic. There are not that many left now.
Tu micrófono está cerrado, Miguel.
Your mic, Miguel, your mic, we cannot hear you. Congratulations, Rosie, for the support for those that for first time took part in this type of event. We had to learn how to use all these things. I'm surprised of the wealth and all the possibilities that the social forum has as an open space. The self-managed groups and the self-management give a lot of potential to the WSF, and I disagree with those that say that is very hard. No, we just have to work. If we work, the forum becomes something very large. So again, open arms. We are waiting for you, open arms, next year here in Mexico. So a big hug. Congratulations to all the teams that have been working so hard in order to make it possible in a very short time. Thank you. Thank you. Alejandra? I don't know whether it's another Alejandra. Yeah, I would like to thank Rosie. Thank you very much for all your work. It has been very nice to get to know each other, to enrich ourselves from a cultural and social perspective. Hopefully one day we're going to meet each other physically. It's very nice to learn about all these issues, mainly what's happening in feminism. We are still in the combat. There's a lot to do, a lot to learn, a lot to share. So congratulations. And I'm delighted to have been part of this wonderful, large event. And we'll keep moving forward, sharing all this culture, all this wealth, all these living experiences. Thank you very much. And we'll be delighted to have you all here in Mexico. Carla? And then Pilar.
Abre tu micrófono. Y Raúl también.
And Raúl?
Carla, ¿puedes abrir tu micrófono? Ay, espérame, que no está en la sesión de panelistas. Raúl, estás aquí adentro, ¿no?
Raúl, you are a panelist? Yes. And then Carla. I feel lucky to have been able to take part in all the different discussions and analysis. I think it's very important effort that gives visibility to different subjects. We can see what is global and what is particular. There are not many opportunities like this one. And on behalf of our front, Unity Front, and the telephone trade union in which I've been working for the last 40 years, for the last 48 years, I have already retired. All these meetings should be happening again and again. It would be nice that next time we can be all together. It could be presential, but it would be important as well to have the conclusions, the numbers, the stats, the initiatives. We would like to have everything, all the results, so we can see all the effort and all the initiatives, and then we can use them for our own activities. Recently, we had a virtual meeting. We do it on the 21st of every month, and I think it's important that for the 1st of May, we are all present, and you too, in this important event that we celebrate every 1st of May. Thank you. Pilar? Thank you, Rosie. I would like to thank the organizer for the event. It's a lot of work, I'm aware of it. For the first time, we could work with you in the forum. We are the Time Bank Qualcan, and we are really enjoying the idea of having you all here. So hopefully it'll be as well virtual. and we are willing to collaborate in anything you need. Thank you, Pilar. Carla, we have Carla. Okay, you have. Thank you. Yeah, I have mic now. Delighted, very happy to have been for the first time in the WSF. We like Miguel Valencia's guidance in Mexico. We are the Biosab Co-op, and what we enjoy the most is that we are immense human beings, and we are many of us which are chanting the same projects with the same voice, and all our participation was full of information, full of proposals, and we hope to see you all here, open arms. The peasant organizations in Mexico as well, they want to take part in all the land issues. They are with us. We have as well the Teachers Trade Union. They sent an environmental education proposal. And congratulations, we have learned a lot. We are so happy to be able to have you in Xochimilco. We are trying to fight to preserve the of 52 marshland that we have worldwide. 2 are here in our region, so we are fighting for their preservation. So thank you, and we are hoping to welcome you in Mexico next year. Thank you very much. I don't know whether there's anyone left. I just want to say that this week, this month, if there's someone else, you can ask for the floor. These are been intense, a lot of work, a lot of will. And when we want to do something, we achieve it if there's time and energy. For CIAL, I'm in Mexico, in Guadalajara. I'm the Secretary General of CIAL, and we have been fully immersed in the forum. This is not the end. This is the beginning of a whole process towards Mexico. There are many tasks, many coordination, many things that have to be coordinated, many activities that we have to implement. We had a worldwide headquarters, not only one. And like when we have it in present, we had headquarters in Morocco, in Canada, in Brazil, in Chile, in Mexico. So it has been very intense. Many things that we have learned, many things. And I think it's wonderful, the whole process that we have started. And it's not only said, oh, that was really nice. No, there is still injustice out there. So we need to everything to make sure that this kind of patriarchal, capitalist, racist, and imperialist system falls. And we don't do it all together, it's not going to happen. Francine, you have the floor. And then Carmina. Thank you very much. I would like just to thank you personally what you have done, because you have done a huge work. And you must have a secret. How do you manage to do it? You have to share your secret. How do you do it? Please share your secret, because you never lose your patience. Never. You are never tired. You are never stressed. You never lose it. I really admire you. I would like to be like you. How do you do it? And I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Without you, Rosie, this would have not been possible. So thank you very much, Rosie. Thank you very much, Francine. Well, I've been working on it for many years. Yeah. Who else wants to? Carminda? Or Gina? Gina? I just would like to say that this this common space that we have had in the forum has been great. And there has been a lot of dynamism, there has been an explosion of movements in all the activities that we have shared. So for me, it has been wonderful, because the facilitation has been excellent. So I would like to congratulate Carminda as well, because I have seen her, the way she has been moving around. in all these organizations, trying to set up everything, the chats and the Zooms, and impressive, Carmen as well. Congratulations to the communication team, Rita, everybody, congratulations. But Rosie, she's the champion here. She's the hero, I think. I would like to say something as well. Yeah, I would like to echo all the things that have been said before. And I would like to know that Rosie, she's unbelievable. I agree. She's amazing. She can write one thing in one hand and something else with the other hand. I would like to remind you that there's people that haven't been able to be in the forum, that haven't been able to connect. We are in a world in which we have still too many inequalities, too many differences. There are still too many people that are suffering violence. And those that should be here, that should be heard, the voices that should be heard in the forum are not here. And it's very important to remember the forum is a process. So we are going to be more in Mexico. And we have to be taking care of this space to be more and more every day. So I think that we should think and remember all those migrants that are crossing the seas, these travel journeys, all these people that are in Maghreb and in Mashrek fighting for their rights. Kurdish women, we couldn't listen to them. We managed to get some of them. People in Russia that are mobilizing, people in India, the largest mobilization in history, which are happening right now. So this is the moment. This is what we have to remember them. And this is the beginning. So we have a path that we have to be towards Mexico, and the social forum has to be a process. Thank you. Thank you very much, Carminda, Sanata, and then we'll finish.
Falar que este fórum, a partir de amanhã, este fórum, ele passa a ser permanente.
It's important to highlight that as of tomorrow, this forum will be permanent. There are a whole series of activities planned for the next week, and this is part of the forum. So it's not the end. We're not waiting to start the in-person Mexico Forum. This is something that has to continue throughout the year. We're still fighting the pandemic, the shortage of vaccines. If we don't fight this entire situation, we will not be able to be there in Mexico. Our fight continues. We still have to overcome these obstacles. It's very important to keep that in mind. I thank you for your efforts, all of you, that in such a short time, only 3 months, were able to pull the efforts and make it a reality. Rosie, once again, congratulations. You were a superwoman. And we just met through internet, and fantastic.
Okay, we're going to give the floor to Leonardo.
De dimensão. O fórum, ele
I believe that we reached a completely new dimension. In the past, we came with a reality that was not very clear to everyone. And people want to still remain with those old ideas, old process. But now, we can see that this virtual global social forum is clearly at the same time a space, but it's also a process. Even if we have in-person forum in Mexico, that does not eliminate, does not cancel the virtual activities. The virtuality will continue. Now, it is possible to have this kind of interaction on a global basis. We can hear people that are not part of the process from other parts of the world. It is amazing to see what François showed us, other countries all over the world that were part of the process. Here in Brazil, we see very close the old proposals of the world. we have our indigenous people who were dominated. We have the European invasion, and now we have this resistance, from the groups that were formed in the past. Now we have this person ahead of the administration, and we have to combat him. We have to take him out. These materialist organizations, we can say that in a materialistic way, they destroy everything that we have conquered. But we have to overcome them. We have to find and strengthen our networking. This is our power. We are in a completely different dimension because we're virtual. And so we're free from their reach. And we have to continue to use this power we have been granted.
No levantó la manita azul, y luego sigue Sheila, y luego Leo. Dale, Rita, dale.
Sou eu?
Sí, dale.
Eu também quero me somar a esses agradecimentos.
I'd like to add my comments in thanking the entire organization. Also would like to mention that I cannot believe how Rosie is able to do all this. She must have some extra energy. And on the other hand, what we can say about Carminda, she's always so calm and peaceful. Her voice, I think that her mom gave her in her bottle chamomilla tea to make her such a peaceful person. I also want to highlight the important contribution from other people, such as François. He not only solved all the problems, the challenges that were thrown at him, but as part of the communication team, he was on the top everything to make sure that everybody would receive the information they needed and be part of the process. Also, I want to thank Ian, who together with Tatiana were able to do a superb work to keep our presence in the social media. And I want to thank especially Tatiana. She had such a huge burden in our organization, but she was deeply involved with all the work with the Global Social Forum. And she's here with us today. And I want to thank all of you. And we know that the only person that is not sleeping here is Pierre. Thank you all. We want to say that
the Agora has been a success as well. I would like to congratulate them. I thought I'm not going to understand. I'm not going to be able, but I did understand. Before giving the floor to Sheila and to others, Aaron from Mexico. I'm a connecting person. I would like to remember the Cuban comrades, which are fighting against the blockade, the deathly blockade embargo from our neighbors. We have to have a strong voice to put an end to this embargo. It's essential. Aaron, you have the floor. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, we have had some sleepless nights, but it doesn't matter. We are delighted to be here. As what you have said, the technology is very important. For the next forum, we need to decide which technology we want, because it is true that we are solving many things through technology, which is available from big corporations, but we have other technologies, and the big challenge is to find out, to convince people that they exist and to make them available and to use them as well. So I think we are going the right way, because from here we should have a statement concerning free technologies, but we are going that way. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. Okay, Sheila, now you have the floor.
I want to reiterate everything that was said so far, this tireless group of people. But also, I want to highlight that it's a very important moment to celebrate the success of this event. I want to highlight that we are in a very important moment, and it's important to realize that we have so many points in common. All of us that has been part of this process of the World Global Social Forum, we can no longer live with this type of society, this full of racism, of capitalism. This is compromising the life of human beings on the planet Earth. So it's delightful to see that our will to change the world has much more power and voice. This is what strengthens us. It gives us hope that we can continue together, different small civil groups here in Brazil, in Mexico, and in other parts of the world, that we can continue pursuing our objective and change our world. A huge hug to all of you that were together with us, especially to the social groups in Mexico that were here together with us. They established and presented their voice that can be heard, and then together we can be with you at the Global Forum Social in Mexico.
On the 27th of February, we have an assembly, and on the 10th as well. So don't forget. Thank you, Sheila. Leo has the floor now. Yeah, me too. I would like to thank all those that made it possible. This large event has been huge due to the excellent quality of all the different panels. Very professional, very political as well in this respect. There's one thing that was missing was the people, the world's people. If we see the figures, I would like to know why, relatively speaking, we have so many people from Brazil, because the difference is huge. And my assessment is that in Brazil, apart from being really beautiful people, yeah, you are now in a fight. You are in a frontal struggle against the enemy, this amazingly murderous enemy, someone totally unacceptable. And I think that we need to review in the path all these different approaches in the struggle. The women in Mongolia, people in Tunisia, we need to be able to talk to them, to visit them, in able to enlarge our outer borders, our frontiers. And I trust my comrade from Mexico. I'm Mexican in my heart. I'm sure that they have this ability. If they are able to be active and targeting political action, targeting where things are happening. Thank you very much.
Carla, ¿pediste la palabra, Carla? Porque ya vamos a ir cerrando. La última la vamos a dar a Muda y yo voy a dar unas palabritas de cierre. Carla, adelante.
Sí, gracias. Carla, and then a Muda. Yes, thank you. Yeah. Going back to what the comrades have said, yeah, we discussed the issue of indigenous people worldwide. And we spoke with the indigenous movement, and they want to work on the translation. They have to be here. We cannot be their voice. They have to have their voice here. Our proposal is that any social entity or any person individually helps prepare all together in teamwork with our indigenous friends in order to ensure that they are taking part of the next meetings. As Eduardo Sanata mentioned, we have to keep in contact, we have to be introducing each other in our indigenous groups. So we are ready for whatever is required. We have 3 languages now, so let's see who else could be here from Mexico, or the translator from different languages. We are here to support you. Thank you very much. Brilliant, Carla. Liesh?
Tempo, passaram minha mão e minha mão voltou de novo. É rapidinho. Eu queria reforçar.
I would like to reinforce all the congratulations to the different teams. I'm not going to name each one of them, but this is a general gratitude for all that made their valuable contribution. I don't know, has been a unique event. I don't know if you're going to have another one at such magnitude, but most important, the unity was what made it the difference to unify our different causes all over the world. This was a key element to the success of this forum in this format. And I hope that while we are putting together the next forum in Mexico, we can use the same feelings of cooperation, solidarity, and then we all be able to respect the differences and accept them, keeping in mind that we have a common objective, a common goal to reach. I would like you to please highlight what are the importance of our next meetings. Again, I want to salute all of you that are here with us today.
Yes, next step. 10th of February in the facilitating group, I'm going to send them an email, 8 o'clock in the morning. We'll see 2 or 3 hours. And then 27th of February, we have an assembly with the Mexican and global organization that want to take part in order to prepare the path towards Mexico. Matthias, do you want to say anything? And then Amuda.
I am very happy to be with you. Really, I'm speaking English. I cannot speak Spanish. So hopefully the translators can translate well what I'm saying. We are in the Central Eastern European countries where we felt that we are excluded from this process, not only in the European Social Forum, but in the World Social Forum too. And this is the moment, I hope, that we can join all your struggles and we can have also support from you. We need support from Latin America, from Africa, from India, in order to fight against this terrible regime what we have here. Because, you know, we had the previous system, which was not perfect, but was much better than today's system. And hoping this relaunching of the World Social Forum will be a new relaunch for us in Central and Eastern Europe. And thank you very much to be with you, and let's fight together. Venceremos.
Obrigado, Matias. Thank you so much. Hamuda.
Ouais, merci beaucoup, Rossi. Moi, j'ai juste.
Thank you, Rossi. Just want to take back 3 things to say that it was a good forum, that we also have to thank all the 1,050 people, 500 people that registered. That's why the forum is still alive, because people mobilize. And second point is to question the African issue. The map has seen a difficult moment for the African people. It is the way to mobilize so that we can, Marco said it, and people, they prefer the mouth. They don't have technologies, they don't have internet. It's a problem. Third point, that it is important that Pierre George made a good group for a new agenda for next year. It is good that this agenda could be published to mobilize around Mexico. And thank you for Mexican people for their welcome, because this comes everywhere, so that everywhere in the world people mobilize. Last thing, Aaron talked, and François said that we need a platform. We have to work on a new platform, our platform, to broadcast, so that what came could not be made again, and we can be sure and open at the last time. And last thing, Rosie and all its equipe, thank you. We will miss you. This is the Fatma hand.
De los ojos y del malo.
Muchas gracias, querido Amuda. Bueno, yo quiero decirles, para cerrar este maravilloso encuentro mundial, global, de los pueblos.
Thank you very much. In order to this wonderful global social forum of all the peoples, and many are not here because of this injustice. I come from a family from the desert, from Ecahuila in the north near Texas. My great-grandfather was a fighter in the revolution with Venustiano Carranza, and my grandparents were there and they were in jail. My mother sent me abroad. I know what it is to live abroad, away from your parents. I know what is sexual abuse, sexual harassment, economic hardship. I know all these things, and now I'm privileged because I'm the coordinator of regional space of Latin America and Caribbean. I'm a sociologist, I'm a popular educator, and as well I know that tenderness, love, is going to bring about revolution. All of us, you and all of us, we have our own specific history and our story, and this is who we are, and we have to dialogue with people, but not only with people, but with their stories. And I think that all of us, we can build these assertive relationships, and we can learn from our mistakes. In these weeks, we encounter some mistakes, but we were able to acknowledge that we can convey, we can stream in 4 languages at the same time worldwide, in English, in French, in Spanish, in Portuguese, and even in Chinese at the same time. And we had teams. I had 4 computers at home using the whole family computers. Even my children were working with me, the whole family. But the main effort or the main spirit is the radical transformation of this unjust, unfair reality that we are living. And in order to finish, I had a video with my children. I'm going to share it later because it's somewhere else and I couldn't upload it. But it's a South, Latin American South, Latin American song from Mercedes Sosa, and it has to do with our fight, the struggle of our peoples. Because even if we are being killed, if we are being persecuted, we are still standing up. We are standing up on the blood that has been shed from children, women, girls, immigrants, and is the name of the song is Reasons to Live, and this is what we are doing, keeping forward. And this is the song.
poniendo esta sangre en tierra, este corazón que bate su parche, sol y tinieblas, para continuar caminando al sol por estos desiertos, para recalcar que estoy viva en medio de tantos muertos y muertas. Para decidir, para continuar, para recalcar y considerar, solo me hace falta que estés aquí con tus ojos claros. Ay, fogata de amor y guía, razón de vivir mi vida. Ay, fogata de amor y guía, razón de vivir mi vida. Para aligerar este duro peso de nuestros días, esta soledad que vivimos todos almas perdidas, para descartar esta sensación de perderlo todo, para analizar por dónde seguir y elegir el modo, para aligerar, para descartar, para analizar y considerar, solo me hace falta que estés aquí con tus ojos claros. Ay, fogata de amor y guía, razón de vivir mi vida. Queridos, nos vemos en México, nos vemos en la lucha. Nunca más sin nosotros, ni una muerta.
Dear friends, we see each other in Mexico. No more people killed, no more murders, no more death for our land, for our life. We have to celebrate life. We'll see you in Mexico. All together, all together, all together.
Abrazo, Bolsonaro.
Big hug to everybody. Big hugs, hugs.
Abrazo.
¡Viva el foro!
¡Viva el Foro Social Mundial!
¡Vida longa!
¡Fora Bolsonaro! ¡Fora Bolsonaro!
¡Fora
Bolsonaro!
¡Que viva el pueblo palestino! ¡Viva la lucha del pueblo palestino!
¡Viva el México! Y los mexicanos y las mexicanas.
Zapata vive, la lucha sigue.
Viva Pinto no planeta.
La lucha sigue.
Zapata vive, la lucha sigue.
La lucha sigue.
Otro mundo posible.
Slogan del Foro
Y
de
se va a
México.
caer, se va a caer. A ver,
La
Claudia,
lucha
ese se va a
sigue.
caer, se va a caer. El patriarcado se va a caer.